Joyalika's world's favorite jeweler diamond wedding collection by Pride.
Juicy, spark the happiness, quench your thirst naturally.
Achika, India's number one trusted gold buyers. We release pledged gold instant cash payment.
I am personally very lazy person. I love to be lazy. Laziness doesn't mean that you don't do your work.
Yeah.
I get my work done because Mahesh have taught me to do my work, get things done, and the rest of the time, I do it faster so that I can rest
Longer. That's a good philosophy.
Because I remember an interview wherein Mamuka was saying, the moment when he gets into the dress code, the makeup done, and stands in front of the camera, one word he said, struck me a lot because the intelligence of the character. Only a person like Mamuka can even touch it. I want to be a character actor who knows to emote every expression. Sir, it is always good to have a show reel.
Okay.
Maybe they wouldn't have seen us perform. We can't call it as a mistake.
Yeah.
Not our state, they don't have to necessarily watch us. So why miss a chance and, ask them to wait for 2-3 days to watch the work, so immediately you can show it. Get the decision yes or no then and there. I remember showing a film, a classic to my kids who were then 5 years. They didn't like because of the print.
Which is the film?
Spadigam.
They
don't want, because they see Mottabamma song with such clarity and color. This has, the print is little old.
Yeah.
So that is a disconnect, I believe, for the young generation. Nivin calls me. Ram's upcoming film, there's a role. So I've told your name.
So you got it through Nivin?
Yeah, my casting director is Nivin. That is how I want to call it. Who will be casted by a superstar?
You have acted in more than 100 films. That's a lot of roles, right? And usually people who are supporting actors, character actors, or how you want to call them, they end up doing a lot of movies because their number of days per movie is less, so they can do more movies.
Correct.
Kind of a thing. So when you enter a movie, supposing you're a lead character or like Stanarthi, like you're an important character, then you're relatively there for the whole film.
The Kerala Crime Files, we were there for 50 days.
Yeah, so like the Kerala Crime Files, which is your Jio Hotstar show. Now, so in that case, you can get into the mood of the film, the tone of the film, because you're on the set day after day after day, kind of a thing. Yeah. But when you have this kind of thing where 2 days I'm there, 3 days I'm here, then 2 days I'm somewhere else, how do you orient yourself towards this film needs this kind of performance? This film, I have to do the same thing but little different. I know you said you're a director's actor, but is that all that you depend on?
I depend on makeup. The look of a character.
Okay.
Wherein I've heard Mamuka says this. I think before his national award one, Kundan Mada, or after, wherein he talks about how makeup helps him, look of a character. Interestingly, because I don't know a way to get in and feel a character, that is one medium I depend on.
Okay.
Wherein I try give an identity on a look. Try possibly do for every role some change, so that I believe, I at least when I see on the mirror, I want to believe that this is not me, my own real self. That is one help which I take, and I believe when that is convincing for the director or the writer, that gradually helps all of us to somehow find a destination. Yeah.
The makeup makes you feel like a different person.
I try to start, looking into the mirror and, get something different out of it. From somewhere which we have not touched anywhere, or, my own self, real self.
Now, let's take Paranthupu.
Yeah.
And let's take Tattathin Mariyathu.
Yeah.
Right? Tell me about this makeup thing.
Paranthupu and Tattathin Mariyathu definitely has a lot to be gauged on my real life age difference.
Okay.
Paranthupu was done at the age of 38. Thattam was done at the age of 27. So Thattam is something which I had performed with no clue.
Okay.
What Vineet says, I do. And I still, feel that, this is could have done better. But Vineet loves it. He loved it. I also like
But you
it.
had a look for that.
We had a goatee, kept a long hair,
Yeah.
and the costume, which is like, what do you call it? A jacket coming, hoodie coming. And he's always in hoodie in Talsheri town. And then, the Gen Z kid, the new gen kid, the sneakers he wears, the jeans, the tone ones. So he had a caricature feel. So, and then it was trusting Vineet on how he delivers the dialogue.
Yeah.
And the scenes are funny and, comedy type. So that this is like bubbly bouncy. This, when it comes to Parandubo, I myself have changed my personal rhythm. It is reduced a lot.
Okay.
I used to be more active, which I am not. So Parandubo automatically, blended with it, wherein his body language is very calm, is not so energetic. He's very patient. So when you're lazy and render something, it looks different. So to do Tattatin Maretha now, it is difficult, yeah. Because it is somebody else for me now.
So you're calling yourself a lazy person?
I am personally very lazy person. I love to be lazy. Laziness doesn't mean that you don't do your work.
Yeah.
I get my work done because Mahesh have taught me to do my work, get things done, and the rest of the time, I do it faster so that I can rest
Longer. That's a good philosophy. Do your work quickly.
Yeah.
You get to rest more.
I remember, Sutherland I work பண்ணும்போது காலையில I reached by 8. I used to love to, go for work under him. So, and then, I get a coffee, I get a cigarette, and then, plan the work. By 11:30, I finish most of the days. But then I don't want to go back. There's nothing to do. Because I've cut short all my bad habits for a while, then I joined work. By myself decided and then, decided. But then I go only by 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the night. But I will be chilling with, my colleagues, all this, lunch time, post lunch time, every full time outside chai kadai, tea kadai, we'll be standing. But my work will be done. So still that practice is there. You have work, priority is first for work. Anything can wait. Finish it, do the corrections. If you have, is there a space of improvement, even, find time for it. Then, be lazy.
Now, you're talking about coming to Tamil cinema, and one of the things about Tamil cinema is that, let's take the comedians, okay? There is one comedian, they have a very good season, and then the demand dips, then the next comedian comes, so then they have a very good season. So while a comedian is in demand, they don't take a rest at all. Because every day is money, every day is a shoot, every day is value, right? So they just keep going on and on and on and on, and like, then because they know that one day it's going to come to a little bit of a thing. But with character actors, it's not like that, right? It's a, because you have a lifetime of roles to explore, because every time you age by 5 years or 10 years, you're going to change. The roles that come to you are going to change. The roles that you seek out are going to change. But when do you take the breaks? When do you consciously say, during a year, I'm going to December, I'm not going to work at all? Is it something like that you do it? How do you recharge yourself?
I work and recharge.
Okay. You're a workaholic.
I'm a workaholic. Though that's what I said, I'm lazy too. I'm in the both ends. I don't have a middle way to anything. When you work...
Explain, what is lazy? Like, when you say lazy, you like to sleep.
I love to sleep.
Okay.
I love to eat, sit, do nothing.
Spend time with the family. Yeah.
Yeah. Now kids are big. It's very funny. So even when I go home, I sleep a lot. I even during my college time, school time, I used to love sleeping.
Okay.
I know I don't know if it's right or wrong, but that is
what is wrong about sleeping?
But you sleep in the daytime, many call it wrong. So, so for me, work, I don't take breaks for family time. Only when there is no shoot, I take them for a vacation or spend time. Or else it's always, my work is the priority, and mostly till all these 15 years except COVID, by God's grace, we had work. Only post this COVID, after my decision that I chose to be little choosy, wherein I don't want to do roles which were repeated lot.
Yeah.
I thought I'll give a gap. It's not that I completely stop it, but people need a change, and I definitely have something I believe is I give a lot of respect to audience criticism. Every reviewer's criticism I try watch on my work and take something which if they have to contribute. And if they baselessly say something, and still I will try give maximum space for that criticism so that I find a mistake pointed out. So I don't see it anyway negative in my work or career. I always am, and very much it have helped me rework on my limitations. So last many years, these have helped a lot. People say that you should stop doing repeated roles which you're keeping on doing. So instead of that, I ask my writers, when they come with a full-fledged role for 50 days or 40 days, I ask them for a 3-day role or a 1-day role or maybe 7-day, so much smaller with much smaller pay. That is another problem which comes in. But I'm happy. Within myself, it gives a lot of happiness. I understand we need to sustain, we need to live, money is very important. But same time, I am so unable to, we all end up doing something which we are not completely satisfied with.
Yeah.
To balance it out. But then mostly, 80% I stick to the policy of myself, wherein I want to be happy even if the film doesn't do well.
I wanted to say your most favorite role, but I realized there may be more than one favorite role. So let's say 4 or 5 favorite roles of yours. What would they be?
Favorite is only Baradwaj, sir.
Yeah.
So I would want to change it, appreciated by the audience.
Oh, what about you? Like, I really like playing this part because it was different. Something like that,
Kerala Crime Files, yeah, under Ahmed. Vadakan Selfie, yeah. Kunjiraman I enjoyed. Love Under Construction I enjoyed. Stanarthi I enjoyed.
Sanarthi.
Yeah. Phoenix I enjoyed. Sergeant Bakery I enjoyed.
Okay.
That father's role was different way then.
Yeah.
Nobody used to give me such roles. Helen.
Yeah.
But when I say Adigapyar and all, I'm scared because now I have no clue how to do it. And that is a fear when I always want to play a sequel to something like KCF 2 we just did, or Ard 3 which is happening now. It's such a scary feel because you have performed a role 2-3 years back. That time a lot of things with what you had learned may have changed in this 3 years time. So you would have unlearned many things. So that will affect the character's performance behavior is what I always feared. Because the way you react to a situation would look different.
If you look at Adu 1 and Adu 2, the first Adu and the Adu 2, wouldn't that remind you of what zone that character was in so that you can replicate that?
For that you need to feel the character and act. That is where my whole journey is. I want to start my journey but not it started. So I want to be a character actor who knows to emote every expression. That is like,
But Aju, I'm not telling this because I'm interviewing you or something like that, but 90% of the time you are so good.
That's because I take the help of my first circle. So I hold my limitations. I tell them, we'll go for a retake, or a place wherein we have given a not such a good reaction. We'll ask the other person's voice. I sit with my editors. I seek help from them. But there is completely you put on a space. You're given a character. You perform. From every 360 angle you're shot.
Yeah.
You should look good.
Okay.
With the right emotion balance. That is something which only if you feel, because I remember an interview wherein Mamuka was saying, the moment when he gets into the dress code, the makeup done, and stands in front of the camera, one word he said, struck me a lot because the intelligence of the character. That was because only a person like Mamuka can even touch it. Feel the intelligence of a character, the blood pressure of the character, all changes he was mentioning. So that is a state of meditation, like Lalsa says. And definitely from the work they have all done what we see in the 80s. Long way for our generation to work on to in every field. Let be actors, musicians, character actors, writers, directors. So what the library, I call it, is so big and effective. The quality is so good that it's a long way for all of us to go.
What do you feel about the generational change that came after movies like Chapakurish and Salt and Pepper and all that, right? Because before that, Traffic, all that generation, like that 4 or 5 films that
2009, 10, 8, 9, 10.
yeah, that thing, because that Malayalam cinema after that just became very different from the Malayalam cinema before that. Tell me about that how you process that.
The generation that just mentioned, 2009, 10, were all these millennials, like 80s born. They started, coming as writers, directors, actors, They're all hugely inspired by the 80s films of Malayalam, Tamil and Hindi. I'm sure. For sure Tamil also. The quality works these two industries actually, have given us, inspired my generation a lot, wherein I also belong to that generation. That, the right benchmark and the right set. The quality is set. So the aspiration is to bring or a match or reach somewhere closer to that. So that I'm sure, that is one good major reason. Because I always believe the best is in the mid 80s to the mid 90s.
Right.
In both the industries, I believe. Okay, 80s to 90s mid, I would want to call it. Then we have seen, when Selva sir coming and doing films, Shashumar sir and Samudran sir doing films. That is when, before Bala sir.
Shashi Kumar came the same year you did.
2010.
I think so. Subramania.
2008.
2008. I think. Yeah.
8.
Yeah.
We were hugely,
Yeah.
Inspired. That's the time when I wanted to assist Vineet. So I wanted to read Shashumar sir and ask him. Then,
He's supposed to be directing a new film. You should totally call him.
I have stopped. I decided my plan not to assist anyone.
No.
To act.
Yeah.
For sure. Now that, I text everyone. Post 2022, when while I was doing KCF, that's when, people started talking about Hridayam, Minnal Murli, Om Shanti Oshana. So I started to realize, people in Tamil are watching.
Yeah.
Like,
today, I met somebody who said they watched Ronde in a Tamil dub.
Yeah.
Like today.
Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't know. They just were
Scroll,
like whatever, like browsing through the whatever it is, and then they saw this and said, okay, let's try it in Tamil, and you loved it. Yeah.
So that realization came to me like 2022 end. So that's when, I asked a friend of mine, editor, to make a show reel for me. And then I got so many, few, casting directors. So I sent it to them. And that's when Nivin calls me. Ram sir, upcoming film, there's a role. So I've told your name.
So you got it through Nivin?
Yeah, my casting director is Nivin. That is how I want to call it. Who will be casted by a superstar. To another industry as a debut film, which, it happened through Nivin.
I find it incredible that you, of all people, need a show reel.
Sir, it is always good to have a show reel.
Okay.
Maybe they wouldn't have seen us perform. We can't call it as a mistake.
Yeah.
Not our state, they don't have to necessarily watch us. So why miss a chance and, ask them to wait for 2-3 days to watch our work. So immediately you can show it. Get the decision yes or no then and there. So easy. And H. Vinod sir always used to reply. And he had given me a role in Ajit sir's film. But then later on it didn't, it's a very small role, but anything, it is fine because I loved this Chaduranga Vetai and Dhiran. And I've been a fan of his work since then. So I keep, still, now that, after Parandubo, I'm sure, I always believe in small steps. Recently I heard an interview wherein Ravi Kishan sir saying in a podcast, he crawled through his steps, not even he climbed. So that is the best because, every step when you have a detailed analysis done or a detailed experience made, even there'll be a day in this season will not be there. So you'll not be feeling, hurt or disturbed for a longer period. I'm sure they'll be hurt for some days, but then it is good to balance.
In a way, that I think is for everybody, right? Because whether you're the biggest superstar or whether you're the beginner or whether you're middle of the path or whatever, maybe one movie will give you a big jump or something like that, but that's not guaranteed throughout. You have to kind of find your way and
Every film.
every time,
Every day.
And what I liked about what you said was the fact that you try to change yourself through makeup or through costume or something like that, so that you don't look at the same Aju Varghese every single time.
Yeah.
And
Try
that
not to, yeah.
You try not to, and that itself is a thing, because face is your face. You cannot do anything about it after a point. If I see you in any, I'll say, oh, Aju Varghese is there, but he has a mustache. Oh, Aju Varghese is there, but he has a wig. Oh, Aju Varghese is there, but he has a beard. So, but the Aju Varghese won't change.
Yeah.
That beyond a point
Yeah.
you cannot change that.
Correct.
But that's what is so amazing, that I think even though you say that,
Someway you cheat yourself, trying to help us believe that you are not there.
yeah,
Though you don't perform different.
but I think that's where I think you're underestimating something. I think even though you think that that's not happening, I think maybe something happens in front of the camera so that you give that little bit of difference between certain characters.
Which might, with the right combination.
Yeah.
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 And that's something which I don't want to investigate on.
Yeah. Don't think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it happens, it happens.
Hey, let it happen. Let's not spoil it, is all what I believe. It's a dessert served to the audience. I'm sure, I belong to the commercial side of movies more. It doesn't mean that, it stops me from working, but I represent the commercial cinema. So that is entertainment feast for the audience mostly, and they come for it. So let's not spoil it. So when I have a less understanding about a humor scene, I would take safety playing it flat rather than try perform and spoil it and damage the scene. When you have a clash of understanding with your director, maybe once in a while it happens. For example, I've seen Love Under Construction, the web series. There's a scene my character has a shift.
Okay.
After watching and talking to the girl in a bus shed, waiting shed. And I had a different way of, rendering and performing that scene. Vishnu had a totally different. So we had a clash of, I'm set to my way of performing it. Vishnu has a totally different way. And I was not understanding at all what is he trying to communicate. So I went with half confidence, or what do you call it, understanding. Like I was doing half for him, and my real self will perform the half of my understanding.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it is a bad scene. But then, I kept asking Vishnu for retakes. Then we took a lot of time. We took it. While dubbing also, I took a lot of time. But still, I have it in my mind. So such places, if Vishnu had given me a choice, I would have made it flat. But he didn't let me. So I did with half of the understanding.
Yeah.
At places wherein you have a complete understanding without preparation, which is automatic, that is the best feel.
Right.
The Ramsar gave it a lot of times. And this moonwalk, Manoj sir also gave it a lot of. Many people do give it.
Yeah.
Not for the full film. There will be shots wherein you don't feel it. That is a beautiful feel. When that sync, that frequencies get matched. And this should happen between an action and cut, sir. You can actually design, and it should happen. Some energy drives it, no?
Right.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned that when after COVID is when you started seriously looking at finances and
yeah.
all that, right?
Yeah.
How easy is it for a character actor, a supporting actor, to demand a certain amount of money?
Depends on, how good your previous one or two films performs.
Okay.
That is the basic equation always.
Always, okay.
If it is bad, then you come down, and if it is really good, you don't go very high, but then you take a good part of it,
Yeah.
without causing any damage for the person. But there it's fair. In anywhere it's fair, I believe. We have a healthy understanding. Most of us are friends, so that is another
Yeah.
good and bad thing. You can't have much of a negotiation made, and you got to have a fair adjustment done, and look happy.
That's very funny because you look. I don't like the money that you're giving me, but because you're friends, I have to pretend that I'm okay with
Yeah,
it.
for some time, then I'll be happy. See, money, the thing is, I don't go behind it, but I understand it is very, very, very important to live. Why I don't believe in going behind it is because of the way I was taught by my mentors, heard from mentor's father. Srinivasan sir, was quoted by Dhyan while his conversation with the superstar. They had a personal talk, and Dan was present there, and the way he sees it, and the way how I see it from my parents. You do your work, and I'm sure the other will follow. Is what I believe, but then not always it does.
Yeah.
How we want, so we get confused. But I still haven't um, completely, biased
Yeah.
or influenced. No.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, because you've done so many films, I forget this, but have you acted with Mamuka and Laletan?
Yeah, I got a chance to work with Mamuka in Devathinu Sundam Cletus, which was a full-fledged role.
Okay, I
And
haven't seen that one.
two shots with Mamuka in another film.
Okay.
And with Lal Sar, yeah, Oppam I worked.
Oppam, yes, yes,
And
yeah. Okay.
Perichari I worked
Okay,
in
yeah, yeah.
US. Then I worked in Loham one shot. That again, how much are, hardcore fanboy. You one shot, you act with these actors.
What would you say about observing them act? This is my fanboy question.
And I would want to answer in that way because these two actors made us believe the work they do is very, very simple without actually showing us, it is very hard.
Yeah.
Masking the reality, and they were so good at it. And that is not an easy that such duos always come.
Yeah.
Wherein you throw any emotion to them, making them stand in front of the camera. They absolutely does at ease,
Yeah.
which is very, very rare, a phenomenon.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I always, along with them, we are blessed. I would want to proudly, feel and believe and, say that Malayalam cinema is blessed with such natural actors, right from these superstars to all the character actors.
Yeah.
That in the textbook, the library we have is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So any baby who starts watching a film, the 80s or my age, my generation, is exposed to such brilliant performances.
Yeah, but tell me one thing. In when I was growing up, because I had Doordarshan, and I watched a lot of the 80s films, right? Like Padmarajan films and all those kinds of films, right? But otherwise, and they would come with subtitles.
Yeah.
Today, I like a young kid growing up, they may know Fahad's films, they may know Nivin's films, they may know
Dulquer films.
Dulquer films or whatever it is. But going back to Gopi, Bharat
Gopi
Gopi's, or like the older
Nedumudi Bannisar films.
Nedumudi films, they may not know simply because there is no easy access to those films, right?
true.
Is it the same in Kerala also?
Yeah.
Because today's kids,
They have no idea.
they have no idea, right?
So that's why, sir, I copy from their performances. No, when I go stuck in moments wherein I have a line or an expression to be given, and I don't have a clue on how to perform it, I have this the collection, this cassettes that I've watched, and the movies watched in television.
Yeah.
These scenes are so imprinted in
Yeah,
our memories that you just copy a bit of them and perform.
Yeah.
And nobody have seen. I won't call. I'm sure the commercial big hits the new generation would have seen, but
Yeah.
Not 80% they wouldn't have.
Because the thing is also that today there is so much of new films available
Yeah.
that catching up with that itself is so difficult.
I remember
So-
showing a film, a classic, to my kids who were then 5 years. They didn't like because of the print.
Which is the film?
Spadigam.
Ah,
They don't want, because they see Mottabamma song with such clarity
yeah.
and color. This has the print is little old.
Yeah.
So that is a disconnect, I believe, for the young generation.
Yeah.
The quality of visual and clarity they see on mobiles to every gadgets is so clear and glossy.
Yeah.
Because I believe due to this Korean influence, right? This K-pop songs and all.
Yeah. So I think it's the same with music also. Like
Yeah.
supposing you play Johnson Marsh's songs or Ausar Bachchan's songs today, the song itself is not a problem, but the quality of the recording, the instruments, that sounds like something else.
Yeah.
They're used to a very crystal clear, like a fresh,
Yeah.
like like a pop.
That is what Rahman sir gave us in 90s, and we suddenly,
Yeah.
"Hey, what is this? Where is this coming from? What sound are we listening to? Some clarity, something, some
something.
app,
Yeah. So
turned
post
on.
Rahman, now if you go back to those older,
Yeah.
even Salil Chaudhary songs, Chemmin and all that kind of stuff, it's like, it's not that they're bad songs, but listening to it becomes a little difficult because the grammar, like you said, it's very different.
Yeah.
And the way the instruments are used, the recording quality, all that
The
plays
mic placing, everything matters, I believe.
Yeah, yeah.
Though I am not sure about the process there. But there's something
Yeah.
of the clarity. That's a basic layman's term we can use.
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So this, when it comes to the generation, my kids, they might watch it after 5 minutes for sure. But initially,
The resistance
this is due to this visual. So maybe after 18 they'll for sure. Because
Yeah.
then they will have the sense to understand on the content and,
Yeah.
the performances. I'm sure all these
But
will...
even there, I think if they're interested in films,
Only film, yeah.
and if they're interested in music, then they'll
Only that.
think. If they're just general
They won't.
audience, they won't. I don't think they
Only
they,
cinephiles and the music lovers.
Yeah.
And who would want to make a career in this.
Yeah.
Only those people.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, true, sir.
So anyway, it was fantastic talking to you. We could go on for more time, but I think we've already talked for a long time. So thank you so much for your time, first of all.
Thank you, sir.
I hope you have many films in Tamil. I would love to see you in more Tamil films, but I also want to see you in these fantastic Malayalam roles that you've been doing.
Thank you, sir.
So all the best. And here's to the next 15 years.
Yes, thank
So you're crawling now, I think,
Yeah,
according to
yeah,
your
I
thing.
always, yeah.
So I hope you start walking and then slowly start jogging, and then maybe we can see you run. Though according to me, I think you're already running very fast. So, but it was-
Happy, I thank you so much for giving this chance. Wherein, when a person whom we see, asking, questions in such detail, to even directors mentioning that, thank you for asking that questions which we missed, somebody noticing and saying. So such detailed film loving person like you giving a chance itself is a big
no, the
acceptance.
happiness is all mine. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Joyalika's world's favorite jeweler, diamond wedding collection by Pride.
Juicy, spark the happiness, quench your thirst naturally.
Achika, India's #1 trusted gold buyers. We release pledged gold instant cash payment.